You are now listening to the Process This podcast, where we talk about the ins and outs of business in the amusement industry. Episode 1 is Control the Crazy, featuring our guests, Partywirks. Hey, Larry, welcome to the podcast. Tell us about you and how Partywirks got started.
Well, Eric, hey, thanks for inviting me to the podcast, and I'd like to thank Scott and the team at FEC for this opportunity to share more with your audience about Partywirks. So how did we get started? Well, as they say, invention or necessity is the mother of all invention, right? And I was working in the high-tech world for many years in the 80s, 90s, and 2000 era, working at big hardware, computer hardware companies and business software companies. And right about that time, my last position was a company that was selling or trying to sell this concept of enterprise self-service, which boils down to letting employees do things on their own rather than doing some manual process. For example, my prospects were companies with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of employees. And this was the very beginning of this transition in the market to self-service software, which we see all around us every day, from shopping online to Amazon to buying groceries or booking a travel trip or whatever. It's pretty much all self-service tools these days. But back then we were missionaries reaching out into the marketplace and working with a company, let's say 200,000 people. They would have an HR department, of course, there to keep track of all of the employees and all of the details about the employees in the workforce. And if it came time, and when it came time for an employee to make a change in their records, it usually involved a phone call or a trip to the HR department, much more of a manual, laborious process. And so our company would go in there and develop self-service tools so those employees could, from their desk, just log in and take care of some of that basic stuff themselves. So that's kind of behind self-reservations at hotels or booking plane tickets. It's all around us now. But my world came to an abrupt end on 9/11, September 11th, 2001, when the World Trade Centers were attacked. The U.S. economy contracted severely, and I, like hundreds of thousands of other people, were laid off. I'm out on the cold streets of Portland, Oregon, thinking, hey, what am I going to be doing now? But I took a thought, there might be a business for this type of big business software, but built for small business. Kind of a self-service business model for small businesses.
So what really got you into the FEC Space then?
Well, it was kind of by accident. When I first developed the software, I had various types of businesses using it, and my son happened to be working at an FEC on the weekends while going to high school. So I went down there, spoke to the general manager, and he told me, Larry, this is one of the biggest problems in the whole industry is the simple process of making a birthday party and a reservation. And it turns out to be not so simple after all. Lots of phone calls, staff have to be there to answer the calls. Customers have the same questions. You have to get payment from them. Lots of issues. So he was actually our very first customer that started using our software way back in the day to really help us improve it and get it out in the marketplace. Now, the interesting thing was, after they went live with our software, they put the Book Now button on their website. I saw on a Sunday they had 11 orders come through the system. So I called them on Monday and I said, Darren, you had 11 orders yesterday. How's that compared to a typical Sunday? And he said, Larry, we're closed on Sunday, at least the business office is, so we never have any orders on Sunday. So it was an eye-opener of the pent-up demand out there. As soon as the Book Now button was available, the customers were clicking it. So he was pretty blown away, and I was very happy.
Going off of that, what makes Partywirks different than other booking systems out there?
Well, I'd say there's probably four main things, and one is going back to our roots as the idea of self-service for the customer is we realize there's more things than a Book Now experience that the online visitor is looking for. In fact, only about 15-20% of online visitors are actually ready to book something right then. The other 80% are what I like to call future customers. And right then, when they're on your website, that's where you want to hook them. If they're not ready to book, let's get them involved in some other aspect of the Partywirks self-service experience. They can fill out a form if they're looking for a place for a fundraiser. They can buy a gift card. They can share your information easily with other customers with a click. There's a whole host of things they can do besides book now. And all of our competitors are really focused on just the book now thing. So if they're not ready to book, they don't have much else to offer. Another thing that makes us different is our focus on customer service. I grew up in Oregon in the Northwest, and kind of funny, but there's two businesses up there that set the bar in terms of customer service. And one is a very successful tire chain where you go get new tires called Les Schwab, and the other is a store called Nordstrom's. And they had the best service ever. And the tire place, when you actually pulled into their parking lot, one person would run out to your car to see how they could help. I mean, they had the highest level of service I ever experienced, and along with Nordstrom's and how they took care of their customers. So I've instilled in my employees, hey, that's the type of service we want. Our software is fundamental to how these businesses operate. That told us their vendors' software was going down every other weekend, and nobody was there to help. And if they did get them on the phone, they acted like they were a bother. We know that that's not the right way to go. You have to have fast, efficient service, people that know what they're doing. Our staff has been with us quite a number of years, very experienced in the ins and outs of our software, but how to apply it to whatever type of business you have.
For sure, especially like you said, on weekends, that's crucial in this industry with all the big crowds that come in and birthday parties and everything's full capacity. Kind of like the article you guys just wrote recently called "Control the Crazy."
And I would say another thing there's two other points about what makes Partywirks different. One is we don't have any contracts. So we're a small business. Our clients are small business. What are we going to do? Sue them if they don't make a monthly payment? So we work with our customers. We worked with them through the pandemic when many of them were closed or partially closed. Very tough time, but we got through it together. So if our software works, you'll keep paying us. If it doesn't, you won't. So we don't have any contracts to sign, and we don't work on a commission model. So some of our competitors charge a floating commission, which leads to a lot of accounting headaches. And what happens if more people come? Some people don't. Orders are canceled. We found the flat monthly fee model, which is published on our website, is the easiest for everybody to keep track of and at fair pricing.
If you can't get help on the weekends, that's not a good thing in this industry, but it's also just nice to have a good customer experience. Treat them well, and they'll come back and they'll be happy too. And
actually, I just thought of a fifth point while you were talking there, which was specialization. We, like FEC are in an area of specialization. When I first started Partywirks many years ago, we were going to be the master of multiple different industries. And it's very hard because each one has its different needs, requirements, all of that stuff. So we found that the party business is very large. There's many small business operators out there that need our help, medium size and large as well. We can also tie together different business let's say a guy has 3 or 4 or 5 or 20 locations. You can tie them together digitally now, so you can collect all the customer information, in real time as it comes in from those 15 different stores. So it makes it super easy for reporting and accounting and things like that.
That's a good point.
Speeds up access to data, really critical these days.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The one thing that a lot of people don't know about FEC is we integrate with pretty much, all the major arcade point of sale systems like Embed, Intercard, Amusement Connect, and other people. And you can save money by using our credit card processing and still have a seamless experience than if you were to use someone who's not in this industry. And that makes all the difference. So like you
absolutely.
said,
we know that it's a 24/7 business, and the weekends are the busiest, right? So you've got to stand by and take care of your customers and they need help.
So we were talking about making things seamless and just easier in the sales process. Can you tell us how your approach is in the sales funnel?
Yeah, that's a great question, Eric. And that's an area where things have changed dramatically in recent years, especially post-pandemic. And let's talk about that. I mean, I think we all know what a sales funnel looks like, big at the top, narrow at the bottom. So no matter what you do to generate awareness, get back in touch with repeat customers, flyers, website, Facebook, TikTok, all of those things are part of your sales funnel, but it boils down to a key point in the sales funnel, and that's when the customer is thinking, yes, I want to go to this place. So now they're ready for action, and that's where we come in. Now, counter that with, I've seen a lot of websites and newsletters in my day, and to this day, many of them still say, call now, right? So in today's environment where employees are hard to find and customers have zero patience and everything is online, that's really a place where leakage can occur and you start losing customers. When Partywirks is in the sales funnel, the call now button is going to be replaced by a book now button, an inquire now button, a buy now button, a join now button, or a variety of different ways that customer can now get engaged, whether he wants to book, buy, pay, share, that type of thing. So it comes down to, when we say it's a self-service world, it's so ingrained in us now. If we can't get it right now, chances are we're just going to get distracted and do something else. So at that critical moment, the moment of decision when the guy is ready to pull the trigger, or the mom or dad or whoever, it's got to be seamless, or people just go someplace else.
One thing that you were kind of talking about is, like people are not ready to buy immediately all the time. And I think that goes back to the whole thing about people usually don't buy something until they've probably had, 6 or 7 touch points, whether that's in person or on your website or social media, or maybe they look at your Google reviews. It could be a variety of different things. People are not necessarily ready right away.
Oh, that's right. And that's where the future business comes in, because the party packages can be bundled up. So that could be a quick sale. All of the details are there, the add-ons, the questionnaires. But for many of our clients, the bigger business are the event people, the fundraisers, the school groups, the daycares. So if they're not ready to book, let's say I'm a teacher and I visit the roller rink, and they have an option planning a fundraiser or a school visit, whatever, I can click that, open it up, and here are all the questions that the roller rink management wants to know about the potential fundraiser. I, as a teacher, have immediate access to the information they want to know. So when I fill it out, and press that submit button, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have to play 50 questions again. They know what I want. We're on the same page. So it's a great way for those people to get off the market and start getting engaged with that rink. So those have been super popular. And some years ago, one of our customers in California booked a large 1,200 person event that started with, "Are you planning an event?" one of the forms. And then the sales staff closed the deal with them. So it starts with something simple and easy to capture their attention, instead of a call now button. Faced with the call now button today, our internal filters kick in. Ooh, do I want to make the call? What's my past experience say? I'm going to get voicemail. I'm going to get somebody that doesn't really know what I need to know, from the place. And I'm going to have to do the phone take thing. So that's why people aren't calling as much, right? And
Did
staff,
you say 1,200? Sorry to interrupt you, but you're explaining how this whole process helps with managing something like that, right?
Yes, and the first thing is getting them off the web and getting their attention and giving them a chance to communicate with the venue. So in many cases, one of the first objections I heard about this idea of letting customers do it self-service wise from party venues and others was, we're going to miss out on the personal touch, Larry. It's important for us to talk to our customers. And who could argue with that? But time has changed. Customers don't necessarily want to talk to you. what they want to do is have the birthday party. Here's the time and date and the fees, and click, 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 and done and gone. Right? That's why online everything is so popular. It
Yeah, that's true.
bypasses the business hours and the bottlenecks, and finding good. Another challenge from inside the business that's answering the phone. I frequently ask, well, Eric, besides you, how many other people answer the party line there at the rink? Well, there's me and Sarah and Steve and Jody. And well, I bet if you talk to those people separately, you'd probably get 4 or 5 different versions of the
Yeah,
party packages. And,
like
and
banana
that,
phone.
well, yeah, that leads to the he said standoff at the cashier where Jody
Yeah,
told me this. And so when it's
yeah,
in writing, that tremendously reduces that he said, she said, friction that nobody wants to see.
that's true.
Also very important, especially for younger staff that have to defend the company policies or whatever with an irate mom. They have the written stuff. Well,
That's a good
here's what
point.
it says. And yeah, it helps in many ways like that. But that's the key thing about the sales funnel is you got to close the deal first and give them that personal touch when they walk in the door.
Going off of that, what are some stories that you might have for us from some customers? Maybe some unique situations that you guys were able to help solve.
I'm going to kind of use a testimonial. We have a bunch of testimonials on our website
Okay.
that the audience can check out. But this one's about Green Acre Bowl down in Tyler, Texas. I interviewed the manager a year ago or so, Andrew Turner, and he started off by saying, Larry, I come from a construction background. I'm kind of new to bowling. And I look at the building and I look for the flow of people through the building, looking for choke points and bottlenecks and where things might be streamlined. So they went from no online booking to Partywirks. They've got 32 lanes. They do live music, snack bar, all kinds of good stuff. So a full service place, lots of stuff going on. So we said, well, now, Larry, everybody books online. In fact, we stopped taking phone orders. Everybody books online now. And some of the benefits are we've eliminated the bottlenecks. Before, we didn't really know who was coming and when. I mean, the doors would open and here comes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people. That was hard on our staff who didn't really know who was coming, so we didn't know how to staff up for, the big bump in business. Now with Partywirks, we can kind of streamline when people show up, so it's easier for our staff to get them checked in. We also know all the details. Do they want bumpers on the lanes? Do they want pizza versus hot dog for their party lunch? How many kids are coming? What's the mix of the group? Do they want a special theme for their room? So tons of information that before we may not have gotten consistently or at all over the phone. Right now, every single order's asking the same consistent information, and it's all in writing. So super nice to know all of that kind of stuff. Then, and kind of, I asked him, well, Andrew, what are some unexpected bonuses that you weren't expecting? And he said, well, wow, I can really do a better job of scheduling now because I can see who's coming and when, so I can match up with our staffing needs. Same thing in the, when we're doing food prep in the morning for later that evening. How many pepperoni pizzas did we sell versus cheese versus sausage? How many hot dogs we're going to need? So a lot of interesting stuff like that. Psychologically, he said, people spend more when they book online. He says they've already spent the deposit, so hey, we're here to party. He said they seem
That's
to
true.
arrive in a better mood and ready to party because it's kind of like when you check into the hotel when you did it online. They've got the spelling right, etc., because you did it, so chances are it's all correct. So they feel more confident that because a party, that's one of the complexities about it. There's a lot of details. And of course, mom is setting this up for their kids. They want it to be right. So having the information they can capture through the booking process with Partywirks puts all that information in the staff's fingertips. So that's where they can really greet them with that personal touch. So there's been a lot of really good benefits from that type of thing. And another quick story. Well, the other thing, the main thing on his testimonial was the headline was "Get them to party. That's where the money is." So again, I mentioned
Nice.
they stopped taking phone bookings because it's not as productive.
If you're able to sell more and sell more of certain things and you know what those things are, ahead of time, it's easier to predict, what should I keep selling, or what should I keep pushing, or, what needs more promotions, or, just things like that, just knowing where to go.
Oh, absolutely. Our system provides reports by add-ons, and that's another thing I think Partywirks pioneered was add-ons with pictures, descriptions, and being able to put them in your cart. But what we tell our customers is, if you have a menu in your place or a snack bar, and I'm a prospect who's never been to your business, well, the add-ons you can use to display your food, your T-shirts, whatever it is you have, and guests can choose those, of course, while they're booking to bump up their party, in many cases, more than double with the extra goodies. But it showcases the folks that don't buy add-ons then, that at least you have them, and they're not going to stop at McDonald's on the way over. So they know you have pizzas and that kind of stuff, so they're more likely to keep their money over there with you guys.
That's true, especially if you have something unique compared to the local food market too.
Oh yeah, because the kids like to sit there and eat while their friends are bowling or skating or watching a movie or whatever the case may be. So it just showcases and gives them a chance to match up some add-ons with different party packages. Now,
Yep.
the second, if you have time for another story,
Yeah, we have time. It's story time.
Okay, let's tell the story about Skate Zone out in Maryland. So I got a call from Rob Sherman, the owner out there, and this was just probably during the pandemic. And this story kind of highlights the versatility and unexpected benefits at a business that has online tools, how quickly they can adapt and deploy and tap into new markets. So the pandemic enforced really strict curfews on rinks and others, for capacity. So they could only have so many people in the building. So Rob had figured out, because he was already a Partywirks customer, he said, Larry, my admin in the office, our office manager, within 4 hours had reconfigured Partywirks to start selling tickets for the first time at their rink. And so he was interested to see how this would work out. So one of the problems they had initially was that they were selling tickets that started from 10 to 6. And traditionally in the rink, you could go any time from 10 to 6 for the same price. But now it was online, and people that wanted to come in at 2 didn't really want to pay if they had to pay from 10, right, and weren't even there. So we kind of coached them on what would help a water park do with a similar circumstance, where you're kind of dicing up a bigger schedule into multiple schedules now. So each ticket could be sold at from 10 to 12, 12 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, and then each time slot was also limited by how many tickets were available. So that enforced the social limits that were in place. And the interesting thing was he was able to raise his prices within each of those ticket slices, if you will, put together special packages that had bundled in a pizza or something. So his revenues actually shot up. So he was quite pleased.
That's awesome.
that he was able to do this so quickly. That's the key point about any software that, if it's flexible and because I know in the party business, the party packages change, the schedule, Valentine's Day, Father's Day, Super Bowl, there's lots of different things coming up, the holidays. So you have to have something that's easy to change locally by your own staff. So one thing that people will say in our testimonials is that Party was super easy to use. That's always been, the guiding philosophy. Can I use it? It can't be a barrier with staff, because many of our staff, and this is changing over time, more and more staff are very fluent with technology. But when I first started this, that wasn't necessarily the case. So it had to be always easy to use on any device, and have helpful training available, and people that answer questions or help out when something's happening.
Nice. I think that's we connect on a lot of things when it comes to just ease of use and customer service and things like that. And going off of what you were already talking about earlier is by making it easier to book things and get ahead of things, people do spend more money. And I have some stats. Capital One Shopping, it says 81% of shoppers now prefer to pay with cards. 70% of adults in the United States hold a credit card account. So It's become the bigger trend in, in the last 10 years at least, and at least the last 5 years, that's for sure.
I think that probably a lot of people can relate to. I did a lot of traveling last summer, and you pull into the gas pump, and most of them, you put your card in there and you start pumping gas. But you run into
That's
the
true.
odd one where the screen says, please see cashier. And I
Yep.
can't tell you how irritating that is right there at that moment of decision, right? Because now I have to go
Yeah.
in there and somebody's buying a big gulp, or I'm going to buy a big gulp. I just wanted to
Yep.
pay. But somebody made a decision, right, not to offer the convenience, and it's really irritating. So in the future, if I can avoid those type of gas stations, I certainly will. And that's the same type of thing that happens to consumers when there's a call now button and it's Sunday afternoon and nobody's answering. I mean, that's a bane for many businesses, is getting somebody to answer the phone, and consumers, have
That's
kind of
true.
given up and don't really want to try. They just want to get on with their day.
Yeah, I definitely there's this a gas station down the street from me, and there's a certain number in the line that always just it never prints the receipt, and I'm always like, are these people just trying to get me in there to buy some candy and stuff? Because that usually works. I usually buy something, but it's
Exactly.
frustrating to have to go do that.
Yeah. And one other point too about PCI compliance and credit card processing. Of course, that's Finn's business. And it's when people book through Partywirks, that means the employees are handling credit cards less. And of course, PCI compliance rules and everything, everybody's concerned about security around credit cards, with good reason. So that's something that really, it's burdensome, time consuming, et cetera, et cetera. So that's
That's
all
true.
taken care of online, uh, hassle free, and, very highly secure as well.
What is your favorite thing about being in this industry?
I love being in software, and I've attended a number of trade shows, fun-loving people, entertaining venues to go into. Everybody's having a good time, and with a name like
Nice.
Partywirks, we like to have a good time too.
Okay, what's your favorite attraction then? What's your favorite attraction to play?
Oh man, let's see. Boy, I used to love to play paintball. That was fun. Bowling, roller
Yeah.
skating. Haven't roller skated in a while. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the arcade stuff. Kind of the whole thing, the buzzing and the clicking and the people laughing and the
Nice.
big screen TVs. I mean, these venues have become so nice and high tech in many cases. But
That's
we
true.
also work with a lot of pizza restaurants, and they have very nice arcade game and party rooms. So it's really a big business.
Yeah, it
Much
is.
bigger business than I expected when I first started the company. And we have some great customers that have been with us for years. Always, we're improving our product constantly. That's something you have to do in this business. And also, I've seen recently industry consolidation with various competitors of ours being acquired by investment companies and stuff. And what I've seen as a result is kind of a stampede to force their clients into a particular credit card, and then the fees
Hmm.
keep going up, right?
Yeah.
So that's not good. So we have
Yeah.
no contracts. We work with a variety of card processors. So we're not trying to lock anybody into anything. We know the future is fast moving, fluid, and evolving. So we
Yeah,
want
that's
to be
true.
there with our customers, right, offering the best in class that we can partner with.
Kind of like you guys, we do the no contract thing, and we're very transparent with everything, and I think that's really important, especially when it comes to your money.
Oh yeah, yeah. And many of our customers are small, independent mom and pops or small corporations. Um, right? It's people's dreams, and we play a critical role in that. I mean, I couldn't imagine opening a business today without Partywirks to take care of the online business stuff, or because your phones can't keep up and customers don't want to use the phones. So it's that critical link that can help turn their dreams into reality when they see the orders coming in. Just like Darren, our first customer in the party business, 11 orders on Sunday, when they were closed.
Yeah.
And and that's another touch point to the sales funnel, because if you're directing people to call now, and your sales office is open 8 to 5, 5 days a week, well, most of the time you're unreachable, right? And that's
That's
where
true.
people
Yeah.
slip away and go someplace else. So that instant gratification works for the party guest, as much as any other consumer out there.
That's a good point. Hey, what are some other trends that you're seeing in the family entertainment industry or the party booking, section of the industry that maybe changing now or in the future?
Well, certainly, of course, the bowling change, right, from bowling to entertainment center has been going on for some time now. Consolidation with some vendors. We work with a leading cinema entertainment center that does movies combined with bowling and arcades. So big venues, roller rinks are really enjoying a renaissance now. They were just featured in the Super Bowl, at least roller skating was, or at
That's
least I
true.
was blade skating. But anyway, there were some people on skates at the Super Bowl.
Usher's big. He goes to some FECs I've seen on some of their social media channels.
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest trends that we're addressing is, being able to integrate with more products. I mean, if I'm a small business vendor and I'm dealing with multiple software tools, it can be totally frustrating. So we've recently incorporated waivers into our system as well as a small e-commerce store for apparel and stuff like that at the bowling center. So trying to offer more in one, I guess, would be part of our strategy. Again, going back to offering something for more than the person that's just ready to book.
Nice.
Right? That's critical, but there's all that future business that we still want to get a hand in too.
Hey, one thing that I don't think we really went too deep into that I think would be interesting for the audience to know is there's all these different ways you can market to your potential customers and existing customers. Can you tell us if there's any way that you can keep that line going using email marketing with your system?
Oh, great point. Great question to bring up, Eric. We recently added a marketing module to Partywirks, and this came from one of our clients, Gable House Bowl out in California a few years ago. Unfortunately, they closed after the pandemic. But I got a call one day from their marketing guy, the guy that used Partywirks every day, and said, Larry, is there any way we can use the existing data in Partywirks to send information from Partywirks to our customers? And at that time, there wasn't, but there is now, this new marketing module. So how it works is when anybody books, we collect their email address and all their other information, as you might expect. But now we can go in and collect anybody that booked a particular party, or it's broken out into categories, your email list. But you can send an attachment, a coupon, a flyer, a message, anything you want to a specific group or all the people in your email list, as well as cut and paste from any other system where your emails are. So you could put them all into Partywirks, send out we just missed it here, a Valentine special event coupon or something coming up in the spring. So a nice outbound way from within Partywirks to send, reach out and test your customers. So we're
That's
pretty excited
awesome.
about that. Some of our customers are now starting to use it. It's only been out a couple of months now, kind of in a test mode. But it gives some really nice capabilities for, let's say it's Wednesday and your Friday night event's a little slow. Well, you could go in there and, within a couple of minutes, you'd be sending an email to everybody in your list or your regulars for that event or whoever you're trying to reach. So that might stimulate orders. And the other thing of that is you can attach a link in that outbound communique, if you will, that when clicked by the consumer takes them right into Partywirks where they can get that ticket, with minimal clicking. So we're pretty excited about that. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's email marketing is super underrated. I think people always just go straight to social media and website specific marketing, but I know an FEC out here in Colorado that did a lot of email signups and they would send out exclusive offers through email that they wouldn't put anywhere else. So it's a great way to get people in that sales funnel actually.
Absolutely. So Partywirks can help from the top of the sales funnel to the bottom.
Yeah. Well, Larry, this has been an awesome conversation. Let's wrap it up and maybe just give people your last words. What do you want of the way from this podcast, and where can they find you on the internet?
Sure. Larry.com is my email. Partywirks.com is our website, and that's with a WIRKS. Kind of a funny story. When I started this company in Portland, Oregon, there happened to be a pretty good event rental company right down the street called Partywirks with an O. So I said, well, we'll have to go with the I, and I'll say the I in Partywirks stands for Internet. But that's how we ended up with that name. Hey, give us a try. We've been around for over 20 years now. We've got a very good reputation in the marketplace. We're a member of the Roller Skating Association, a member of the Bowling Proprietor Association of America Smart Bike Program with discounts for BPAA members. We work a lot with pizza restaurants, FECs, water parks, you name it. If you have a birthday party, a lot of them follow the same thing, right? We have parties scheduled. We need to get them booked. How are we going to do it? Bring some order into the chaos, because if you're not doing it online with the right tools, it can be kind of a challenging environment.
And if you're not doing it online at all, you're probably missing out on a lot of opportunities.
Well, here's another benefit, finding and training new staff. If you have to train some new people, they just have to look online in Partywirks and see, wow, what's the verbiage here? What are we selling? What are the add-ons? What are the questions I should be asking? What's the pricing? And the customer sees exactly the same thing. So it's easy to get people up to speed because it's all right there. It's not in a catalog someplace that you have to hunt down. It's right in front. And that makes it easy to update, change as you need. Most of our customers do all their changes on their own, but we always help. If somebody forgot how or there's something new they want to learn about.
That's true. It's all about communication. Well, on that note, it was great to talk to you again, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, Eric, thanks so much, and to Scott and the team at FEC Fin, really appreciate it.